Hola and namaste, folks. I'm your host, Sukriti, and I welcome you to the Techie Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Businesses need to prepare for the future of work, progress their digital transformation journey, and realize the real time growth in the digital era. Now, it is very imperative that businesses today and the leaders consider the IT infrastructure upgrades and show enthusiasm towards accepting new technologies disrupting the flow of work. Now, companies are leveraging the data to build more human centric and maximize operational performance and efficiency to meet market demands at a scale, even when the market landscape is constantly evolving. Now, in this episode, we will cover the challenges with infrastructure upgrades and how businesses can benefit from the new age technologies. And to talk about this and much more, I have with me Srinivasachari T, who is the lead solution architect at Dell Technologies India. Welcome to the show, Sri. I'm so excited to have you here for the show with me.
Hey, Sukriti, it's my pleasure, and thank you so much for having me on this show.
Wonderful. So, I'm so excited to have you here with me and to, of course, have my questions answered here. So, without any
Mhm.
further ado, Shini, I will quickly jump on the first one. Please help me understand what are the biggest opportunities for Indian businesses in the IT currently?
So, Sukriti, we are at a very beautiful cusp as an industry today. We have just come out of the pandemic, which we saw a couple of years back, where the development on IT and technology sort of took a backstage rather than the importance was given to making sure everybody works from wherever they are, whether they are at home, whether they are at their native place, whether there's connectivity. And from there, in the last few months, we have seen emergence of large language models or generative AI. So it has been a roller coaster ride for organizations to see how they can go ahead and capitalize on the challenges that they are seeing across the couple of years. Uh, with this, what we are also seeing is uh, the data itself within the organization is a lot more distributed, especially with all the users still working from home and still figuring out how to come back to work and then come back to offices, and work is becoming one of the key things. And this has caused the data many more data points across different landscapes, which are now vulnerable as a target uh, for uh, for miscreants who are trying to steal data for simplicity's sake. We have done a study which says, Dell Global Data Protection Study, which finds that 74% of customers agree that remote work has caused exposure to data loss from cyber threats. And you don't necessarily need this data point or a study. From my interaction with all the customers that I meet pretty much day in and day out, everyone has expressed this fear of how to protect data, how to ensure that data is available, how to ensure the companies do not suffer a setback with attacks on their data set. Uh, that is on one side. On the other hand, they want to see how they could leverage this data to propel in their digital transformation. How do they use this data set? How do they analyze this data set? How do they identify insights out of this to create newer products so that they can build more stickiness with their customers, or optimize operations backend to see they can serve their customers in a much more better way? Both these strategies are data centric. Both these methodologies that we spoke about, future of work and ability to leverage technologies like AI and edge, is causing a huge churn on strategies on how organizations should look at uh, data to ensure that their digital transformation moves in the right direction with the right velocity.
Okay, now that being said about the opportunities that we are looking at, as we,
Mhm,
as we are setting up the pretext of, today's episode, Shri,
mhm.
what does the exact current state of IT infrastructure in businesses look like?
As I said, the current state of infrastructure is at a cusp. I mean, there are still organizations like large enterprises and governments who still run the traditional monolithic workloads within the data center, have got a lot of structured data within their organization, which they would normally use through BI to identify insights and then go ahead with outcomes. And on the other hand, we are seeing evolution of newer workloads like artificial intelligence, which necessarily depends on unstructured data like video feeds or chats or texts or numbers, and how to identify insights. How do we structure this data? How do we collect this data and bring it to a single source or single plane for us to go ahead and analyze it, is one of the things that most of the CIOs today are are battling with. How do we go ahead and identify the right infrastructure which would be able to handle both the structured data set, the unstructured data set? How do we ensure we have the right infrastructure at edge where the value of data is very high, especially when we want to analyze as soon as the event has happened? So how do we ensure that we do not lose time by backhauling this data into the data center and then analyzing it is one of the other aspects that many of the CIOs are focusing on. IDC, a Worldwide Black Book, a live edition, says that the IT spend by Indian enterprise and service providers is projected to grow by 7.8% in 2023. So we can clearly see how organizations will adopt newer strategies in their digital transformation. And as part of that transformation, IT transformation is one of the key points where you want to have storage that is capable of handling traditional workloads with same elegance as it would handle the new age workloads.
Okay. So, with this, what are the kind of upcoming trends do you see in this space? When we're talking about IDCs and all these adoptions that we are mentioning, what are the kind of trends that you foresee?
Oh, the trends are simply amazing, Sukriti. If I have to say, as I've spoken earlier, we are in a roller coaster era where we are seeing evolution of technology much faster than at the pace organizations are able to adopt it. So somebody who is really ahead of this curve is the one who will be able to leverage them to the best and get the most out of it, right? Some of them, however, I would like to talk about is because of evolution of multi-cloud era and the edge strategy coming through, data is getting generated at multiple sources. We are collecting data at different locations, and it is no longer required for us to bring it at a central location, but it also means that a lot of data keeps moving across these landscapes, whether it is edge, whether it is data center, or whether it is the cloud. And hence, I'm seeing evolution of software approach to this data management. It is no longer the hardware approach, which is very much product centric, in the box centric, but ability to orchestrate, ability to handle data which are collected at various points. How do we hold them? How do we secure them? How do I analyze them? Plays a key role. It's not only that, now that I've got enough and more data coming in through various sources, how do we leverage artificial intelligence or machine learning technology within this aspect of storage becomes one of the key aspects as well. If my storage is smart enough or intelligent enough to tell me or allocate the right kind of disk pool for the kind of performance requirements that are required from the storage, human errors are just taken out. Especially the IT team can plan their storage consumption in a much better way. And again, as I said, we've got multiple landscapes now, edge, core, and public cloud as well. How do we leverage a similar experience across all these data planes becomes one of the other key trends that I'm seeing. And all this is towards enhancing performance, towards enhancing how fast I can get insight of the data sets that we have, not compromising on the security side. So security also plays a key role as a trend. It has been there for some time, but then enhanced focus on security is becoming even more critical. You are aware the attacks are now a lot more sophisticated, a lot more concerted. It's not happening only at the perimeter, but it's happening at the device level itself. There is a malware injection that happens. How do I control interactions? How do I ensure all the communication, whether it is machine to machine, whether it is human to machine, is validated, authenticated, and then a connection is established. So we are now seeing evolution of zero trust as a strategy, even on the hardware segment, which is on the storage and the servers clearly. And all of this not all of this encompassing with sustainability coming into play. How do we ensure we leave a better world behind without consumption or without polluting? Or one of my colleagues would normally say it should not be that IT becomes the new plastic, right? So you want to ensure you have the right strategies in place, keeping in mind the environment as well. So these are the trends I'm seeing pretty much evolve in the short term.
Thank you so much, Shuni, for that. You know that this one's the response that you've just given to the to this question is very much pertinent to what I'm going to ask next, which is about the impact. You've clearly touched base that a little, but what impact could you actually foresee of the new age technologies having on these Indian businesses?
Sure, Sukriti. Let me just take this, maybe sector-wise. So, for example, if I have to talk about uh, government is one of the key sectors now. We know that government is a treasure trove of data, and data collected across various geographies or states, across different departments, uh, in probably multiple languages as well. So how does government leverage this power that they have in order to ensure that they're able to give more personalized service to the citizens is something that we would see, impact of technology clearly in that sector. If I have to talk about retail, a lot more technology can be leveraged, whether it is customer facing on shelf optimization, or if it is an internal use case, something like how do I say, anti-theft or anti-fraud. How do I go ahead and ensure my online transactions are pretty safe? That is one of the use cases that we are seeing evolution of AI help us tackle those problems. Uh, Telecommunication, with 5G coming through, it is actually creating a digital highway for data to move across different devices, different regions, right? And India being such a vast country, we have, you know, how do I say, we have huge, huge disparity with respect to weather. In Rajasthan, the temperatures can go all the way up to 45, 50 degrees. Hopefully not 50, uh, but and in say Ladakh or Leh, the temperatures can drop to as low as -6, -10. How do we ensure that we have a standardization on the infrastructure to ensure that they are able to handle these kind of disparities in the temperature? How do we ensure that 5G is set up in the most dependable way, and how it can be leveraged. Now, leveraging 5G also goes on to Industry 5.0, which is Industry 4.0, which is our manufacturing segment, right? How do we leverage amalgamation of IT and OT together so that they are able to plan production better, they are able to plan maintenance better, they are able to handle inventory better, and leverage technologies like blockchain, especially during supply chain, to ensure that what is actually manufactured is not tampered and reaches their customer in the most sensible way. So I see technology being leveraged in pretty much all the actions that any organization or any industry is participating in India, uh, to an extent that instead of technology being a support for businesses, many a times it will be the business for many organizations. If IT is not planned, if technology is not planned properly, it could result into catastrophe.
Okay, and where do you exactly see India when you talk about these technologies, and any upcoming launches that you want to talk about in the market right now?
Oh, sure. So I There have been multiple launches. As I said, technology is evolving at a super rapid pace. Evolution of software-driven hardware has come to the fore very effectively. We just launched our fresh upgrade solutions on PowerStore 3.0, which focuses on leveraging a lot more AI within the storage to ensure that we are able to store more data on a physical device than ever before, using technologies like data reduction, technologies like compression and deduplication. So now you can, theoretically save 4 times more data than what the device would store without these technologies. Again, leveraging AI and ML within the storage will help us identify if the storage is working properly or not properly. If there are any failures, the AI engine would predict, log a ticket with Dell, and ensure that the support happens more effectively. So and all is not compromising on security, which is where I said we've started leveraging zero trust framework. So this is one of the key announcements that we just did, specifically around our storage. So this is the device that will power organizations uh, in the next era, which is the data era.
All right. So clearly, the security, AI, machine learning, all these factors will kind of see witness an acceleration, and we're actually already seeing that this year, 2023, Shini, and a lot of usage of data collection, processor-based measurement by the or our customers will be able to use a flexible approach to avoid costs and associated with over positioning on provisioning of their computer needs and. The business, of course, that we spoke about, the IT infrastructure and the impact the technologies will have, we definitely see a good time coming up. Thank you so much for helping us with all these insights in this episode, Shini. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Sukriti. Thank you so much again.
All right, so that was Srinivas Cherry from Dell Technologies, folks. I hope you've had your set of learnings from this episode. I'll be back with another episode very soon. Till then, stay tuned to TechGig for all the tech updates. Stay safe and take care. Thank you.